Now then, welcome. Thank you for downloading or streaming this podcast. Please be advised, this podcast contains strong language, banter of a sexual or racial nature that some viewers may find offensive. If you are easily offended, please do not listen to this podcast. Spank your... One of the reasons why I do this podcast is because A, I don't get out of the house much, and B, it builds my self-confidence. So every time you guys send a donation or an affiliate or buy something via the affiliate link, as cheesy as it sounds, you really are making my days that bit brighter. To see how you can help the show, simply check the show's show notes.
Okay, guys, what's good?
Guys, I've only just
wanted to say thank you so much in terms of the response to the last episode of my daughter. She's at home now, and everything is all good. This is the Evan Makeba Podcast, episode number...
So just to let you know what kind of hype I'm on. This is the Evan Makeba Podcast, episode number...
13.
14.
Unlucky for some. Niggas.
Inquire.
What it is, greetings, salutations, how is it going? Welcome to episode 13 of the Evan Makeba Podcast. How insane is that? How insane that we have been doing this podcast for give or take, fucking 3 months? 4 months? I knew there was a period where there was a break. I had to take a break.
So anyway, this is...
One, because I didn't have any internet, and
episode
two...
14, but this is the second episode we are celebrating.
I lost my routine, I lost the whole kind of thing that I was doing
the 5-year anniversary of the first...
What the fuck?
First show I ever...
My battery, my Kindle battery telling me I had no battery.
Produced, which was called The Hunger Within.
I've lost my train of thought now, fucking
people
thing.
In it had about how many handles?
Yeah, I became very ill, and everything just went to hell. And this was the period where I actually managed to not only get on a train, but actually go to my mum's and hang out with Ruby, and that's she was one of the reasons why.
So there were 7 handlers.
I wanted to do it more active. I wanted to be a lot more active, like I used to be in previous episodes. But I just wasn't in the mindset. I think sometimes I think it's okay every once in a while to say that you're not okay. That you're not okay, and
did the majority of
you're in a lot of emotional pain. I think
else in terms of the direction,
every once in a while it's okay to be honest with yourself.
The cast and very helpful.
I mean, you guys have heard the episodes previously. You
why
guys
don't you think about
are aware of what kind of physical and mental state I'm in.
This angle doesn't feel.
It's a points where I just don't want to be on this planet anymore.
Perhaps you want to think about changing.
Happy to report that that's not the case at the moment.
And even when
I've been back for about a week, 2 weeks now.
It was just
back in Manchester, and I've really been thinking about a couple of things, and I don't know how this has happened. I know why. I was fiddling around with my
the next episode. I hope that
with my phone,
apparently,
and I came across
a week and a bit about
Project Vengers.
13-12 days.
Now, for those of you who didn't train with me
before,
as a performing artist, towards the end of my training,
uploading it to public,
my university training, I needed to start thinking about an end project.
And I'm going to be shitting bricks because
it actually started, I believe.
Hopefully by then you guys would have
2009, I started thinking about, well, shit, what am I going to do for the final project?
That it's important to, if you will,
eventually I came up with Project Vengeance.
There's so many reasons why self-confidence.
And what I wanted to do for Project Vengeance
and to learn
was
from my mistakes.
combine all the things that I love with all the things that intrigued me during my training as a performing artist. And eventually I gave it, and towards the end of the rehearsal, I gave it the name The Hunger Within. The reason why it was called The Hunger Within is
guys on the show, you should know,
it was each one of the characters has a hunger and a desire.
But on the flip side of that, people who have found me via Twitch,
and it's mainly the story was
so touche, I guess.
that hunger and that power was mainly corrupting them.
I was just trying to find my notes from last week,
eating them in from them, eating within them, the insides, if that makes sense.
From my notes from last
over the next couple of weeks, we're coming up towards the 5-year anniversary of Hunger Within. So I'm sending out a couple of Facebooks.
With the rehearsal.
Yeah, I sent out a couple of Facebook messages. I've changed a couple of the things on Twitter.
She was kind of.
I want to see what kind of response
kind of thing.
I get
if that's
from
actually a phrase in terms of the promotion.
Acknowledging
if you have seen
that, it's been 5 years since this project, and this project
5 years
was my first ever
the video that I posted this morning of
theatre production
actors,
thing.
Chasing each other.
Towards the end,
one actor chasing the other actress.
The actual day of its performance,
it's a fucking crazy video,
which is the 5th of May.
If I can find it again,
I'm actually going to be uploading it onto YouTube, hopefully, and also
I believe this is.
I'm making it public on other streaming networks.
This is not
with the hope that we talk a lot about it in here in the podcast.
I really should have checked what I was doing. And also I forgot what I was saying.
Throw up a couple of notes from that period of time.
Fuck it, let's move on, shall we? So let's
where
go
it went
into
wrong,
the second
looking at
research log
the video now,
and this one was the 14th
where
of December,
I could have improved
2009.
on what could have been stronger,
Just
what
a
could have
quick
been more
one. It's come
clearer.
to my attention that Chinese government
And
appears to be
my
locking,
cast, because obviously there
locking up,
wouldn't be a show
civil rights
if it wasn't for my cast.
protesters
I really hope I can
so-called-
get
in so-called black
a couple
jails.
of people involved
The
in the
phrase black
project,
jails is to be
even a
researched.
couple of people like behind the scenes,
However, the more I think about this,
and get
the
their
more it
thoughts
seems
on what
prisons
happened
are my thing
and whatnot.
in terms of writing pieces.
I think another reason why I've been thinking about this so much is because
before that,
I considered it a failure. I considered it
almost like a prelude,
something that I
piece that I
put my heart and soul into it,
worked
and
by myself.
the execution of it
written, directed,
it just kind of fell apart.
And acted by me.
I think there's a few reasons for why it fell apart.
It was a
the first reason, it was far too ambitious. Far too ambitious.
It was kind of like a comic.
And the second reason is that I really should have asked for more help.
I was
the third reason is because I'm a fucking aspie.
And I was in this
I don't want to use this too much of a big reason and excuse for why
kind of a sense of an educational kind of
it wasn't the piece that I wanted it to be.
Regarding the treatment of
doing my research after graduation,
who were being
and becoming more comfortable being an aspie, I realise now, looking at the notes and remembering
basically they had during that period
actions
and
time, things that I was saying to the cast and saying
maize and water. Not even bread.
The production team.
I'm still.
It makes sense to me now why there were some things I tried to get across, but couldn't execute it correctly. Let's get into basically I want to give you a writer's perspective of what happened. So in front of me here I've got a blueprint of scenes. I'm not sure if I'll do that this week. I've got the script itself. And there's one more. I'm just trying to find it. I think it was
I'm going to have to prove myself.
The research log.
In the next project that
and it starts all the way from
in order to generate
the 10th of January, 10th of December 2009.
I feel will relate to that.
And I think I'm just going to start reading the research log and just see where we go from here. So the 10th of December 2009.
The log.
I've been working on this project since the summer. I've been watching a few films such as Shogun Assassin. Shogun Assassin. I am Sam! Shogun Assassin, Lady Vengeance, but blindly. I think
happening in prisons.
I think what I mean by that is that I had the knowledge of the film, but never actually watched the film. In particular,
about the treatment of
Shogun Assassin, as that was one of the films that the Wu-Tang Clan, particularly, I believe it was the Jizza, and I hate pronouncing his name. The Wizard of the Jizza. It is the Jizza, isn't it? But I can't.
But she would be in prison.
Hear that name and not think Jizz.
Let's
move on, as in because his name is obviously. I think it's like an acronym.
That interested
for
me.
Genius. But yeah, he uses a lot of that film in his album.
Civil rights
sound clips of that film in his album.
And mental
Lady Vengeance. Lady Vengeance
ended up
is
not going with this project,
a
and
part
I feel
of
was
the
just as well
Vengeance trilogy. I think it goes
all I had was just
Mr.
that as a blackboard. I didn't have anything else. It was just
Revenge or Vengeance.
Niggas in prison.
Completely
or
forgot.
in this
my
case,
mind
Chinese
died.
people in prison.
Sympathy, Mr. Vengeance.
And it was going to be
Old Boy, and the conclusion of that would be Lady Vengeance.
Going to be quite
the director,
surreal, almost
again,
absurd,
my brain's
but I
just
wasn't
died.
quite sure
Jan Park.
What that
Jan
would
Park's
entail.
something
And it's glass
forgotten,
of water
but,
time because my voice is going.
These are the pieces of work that I've been passionate about for so many years. The only thing that really annoys me is that I can't pronounce the names.
So yeah, it was basically
I can see it in my mind, but I can't pronounce it. So I think it was another reason why I didn't want to talk
really
about
looking
the
forward to
project
telling you guys the
in public as much, because
entry of the log, and then
I was
talking a bit more
concerned that because
about the
I
piece
could
itself,
see the words,
but
but I couldn't pronounce
is a
the
very
names, that people will think I'm a fucking fake. I think that's one of my fears in life, that I come across as a fake when everything I do is in terms of performing arts, it's from the heart. It's what
I've known this girl for fucking ever. I mean,
I don't want to do a project that I don't care about.
When I started,
and I feel during my time at university, there were certain times
went to the
where I couldn't make the connection
in order to try
in terms of my work,
societies, and one of the societies I
what
tried out for.
And how people
cheerleading. I thought it was a no-brainer. I could dance.
People's ideas for that
I like
work.
Sports, and I like being in the company of fit women.
There were times where I was just being an ass out and out, and just
for some reason or another, that didn't go according to plan. But I wouldn't
take any of that back, because I feel that all of that
time
was
just a cheerleader,
wonderful.
But, she turned out to be
a learning curve for me.
A very popular.
I was a very big fish in a small pond, and with all due respect to anyone who trained in Nottinghamshire and works up,
to get her on the show.
I was coming
the
off
more
the
I try, the more I kind of feel like it's a lost cause. So I don't think I'll be able to get on the
roles that I did in college, and then I went to the drama school,
and I don't know if she still has it.
Still,
but she,
I still believe that I was a big fish in a small pond. But the problem is that
called Faint Fascinations,
there were a lot more bigger fishes.
I met our guest,
or
Donna
fishes the same size as me.
Speaking of devil,
doing
Crab,
and understanding and learning things a lot more.
Shit, I've completely lost my trail of thought. Anyway, here's Donna. I'm just gonna.
They were learning things.
What the fuck I'm doing?
That
okay, we're coming back.
The teachers appreciated,
now.
Whereas I was learning things, and I was trying to develop my style, and I was, to be honest with you, I was just trying to survive drama school. So I feel like there's a lot of artists. I mean, you look at Paul Denson, or as I used to call him, Paul Tornapal. You know, he's a huge. Well, he's not huge, but he's doing his thing. You know, I've been looking at his work on Facebook. He's doing a lot of work in Japan. He's had some viral success. I believe Charlotte Thompson also is doing great things. Lewis
Fair enough.
He fell off the edge of the earth for me. I don't know of his work, but at the time he was one of these, big fish who was developing, and the work that he was doing was very pleasing, and he was very professional. Whereas I was coming in and I was trying to articulate and trying to just do everything from the heart, and I was in a lot of emotional pain then. But unfortunately, it came across as I was coming off as a token black guy dick, and I feel that I wouldn't have taken that back. But I've learned from that pain. I always learn from my pain, and now my pain is my canvas, which is why I'm always kind of like referring. I think all of the characters that I create, all the characters that I develop, all the storylines and the angles that I work is it's very pain orientated. It's very struggle based. I'm thinking of uploading the script so you guys can read and see that there's a certain, particularly with the main antagonist, there is a journey that they're going through, and it's a journey of great pain, and the pain causes them to do a couple of really rash things, which hopefully you guys will hear about in the next couple of episodes. Okay, so let's carry on. And running themes and shots that keep popping up in other Eastern Asian films. I think what I was saying by that is, in terms of, I think at the time I was watching a lot of ninja films, a lot of Korean films, some Jackie Chan films.
Yeah, it's always nice.
I tend to think there was an error in Northern Asia films where the female protagonist was just
do the Hunger Within work is because
was the biggest character that you could be in Northern Asia films, and a lot of people who watch some Northern Asian films now
did you say at the time that you were
putting that idea into their work now? But having said that, that's also got me thinking about the rise of the female protagonist in Hollywood, and there's a couple of articles that are now fed up of the female antagonist. I want to get into that in a later date. I don't want to diverge too much. I was looking at different styles of Asian theatre, and again noticing themes like minimalistic music used in Noh theatre, which I think is used in Baraku, mainly using Japanese drum, Japanese guitar like instruments. And vocals, obviously, in Japanese. I noticed the use of a kuruku, like stagehands, but all in black, and sometimes the performer might research to confirm this theory. We'll come back to that in later weeks. I think, let me just check the time, how long I've been talking. Okay, I'm gonna.
Indeed. Have to give a shout out for sympathy for Mr. Vengeance as well.
I'm gonna take a pause here because I need some water.
There's one.
All right, I'm back. Let me just get my notes back up. So I don't want to. I think what I'll do
Vengeance was the first one, wasn't it?
I won't talk about the.
I think the thing is with Vengeance,
the Japanese style as much in this.
Very hard to get
in this episode, but what I do want to say is that there was a lot I was trying to fit in into a 10-minute piece, and like I said, it was too ambitious, but I wouldn't listen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think as well as the Japanese stuff, there was Korean. No, actually, I wouldn't say all Korean cinema, but certainly Park
was too ambitious.
Chun Park. Suddenly, I think that's his name.
There were a couple of things that
a lot of his films inspired me. The way that he writes.
I can't remember if you were brought
and
in
also the fact that he actually, before he was a film writer, creator, he actually studied psychology, and I've always been curious about psychology. So there's certainly that connection, and what makes people tick, and what makes people sort of grince in horror. I think that's another reason why Battle Royale is my favourite film of all time, and also Akira Shikarasu.
Yeah.
I've suddenly forgotten how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you
I think it's just a love of just upsetting people and pissing people off.
No, it's gone. I'll ask
But
you a second
hoping
question
that
instead.
people will stay afterwards
Do you
and
remember,
kind of talk about
the bits
the
where we
art
were
that
doing
they've seen, because at the end of the
fight scenes?
day, I hate that phrase, but what I'm trying to create is art, and the emotion.
I kind of felt jealous
But I'm
of my
trying to-
class because some of the cool stuff that they were doing is like, oh, I want to do that.
Trying to give out
it
to
was,
people is shock and horror.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
I think that's
a shout
another
out to
thing
Jamie
that I
Dean,
kind of
believe that was the photographer. Sorry, not the photographer. The
never
choreographer
spoken
there.
about in terms of my work
He
is
really
that
did a
how
great job and really
horror
helped out, the cast,
related it actually is. But
with moves and
the
ideas.
thing is, I do when I think about it, I
Were
do
you
like the
around,
creepiness
when we
and the
were watching,
ideas
like,
of
other bits
within
of,
horrors, but I don't think
of films?
I would be
I
myself would be able
I remember
to
there was
direct
there was a time when
or
I
create
was
a
showing
horror
the
piece,
cast some of the
particularly a horror
extreme,
piece with jump scares in it. I don't think my
some
work is
extreme
leaning towards that
Japanese
way,
films
but I
that
think
they
my
were doing. I
work
can't
would be
remember.
leaning more towards the Tom Six kind of thing,
No, I must.
where it's just shock
I
value.
must have either imagined it or you were just.
And but these are the kind of things that I'm noticing now, particularly with my love for Battle Royale, and
there's one photo where
particularly looking over these
you're,
notes.
taking a picture.
So let's go back to it.
Choreography, but
it's extremely common in most
pictures,
forms.
can you remember,
Okay. I was talking about the Karuku. The Karuku actually is a character that I do actually to this day continue to stick into my work whenever I can. I'm hoping that as well as this being the 5-year anniversary, I really hope that this lights a fire under my arse and I start creating work again, and I can start showing you exactly what I mean by the Rikuku who keeps popping up in my work. So on Thursday of that December 10th, I met with my tutor and basically
I actually don't know how to describe
started rambling where the idea of this project came from. I wish I said something as basic as this. I love
the quality
Eastern Asian performance. China, Japan, Korea.
Particularly Sarah's one. Sarah's one's amazing. And
those are the big players for me.
Fucking word, it's one of the most overly
sorry, I'll say that bit again. I love Eastern Asia performance and culture. I want to create a piece of a performance as tribute. I volunteer.
For sure.
The Hunger Games without the Hunger Games. See that would if I did read that book then I could have easily just written that. I volunteer to make a performance piece about Eastern Asia culture and performance as tribute. Anyway, after the meeting, I was left in two minds. The idea of creating something extremely colourful, bright, or creating a piece of dark social commentary, which uses styles of the elements that of research that I've discovered. Today I'll be making a research hit list. I'll see if I can find that in later episodes.
I've more enhanced my style of working,
of all the
but I haven't done any work since.
Of all the
items of research I shall mainly focus on. Oh, I see. So all the kind of like a I can't call it brainstorm anymore, but brain mapping in the sense of like, this is the big idea, and all the under the ideas circle around it are the supporting things in the piece. Can you see what I'm talking about in terms of too fucking big? You know what I really should have done.
I think do we share other problems with mental health?
There was a piece. There's a bit within the film that you'll the film. Sorry, you'll see why I'm talking about in later episodes, where. There was a running there was a sub story running within the story.
Congratulations.
I really should have just had that piece and just discussed it a little bit, rather than just have this massive thing that it was. Because 5 years on, I still believe that I can extend this piece and turn it into something really huge. And that's all I've got to say about that. I don't want to say too much and not deliver. I'm just trying to find where I was. At the moment, I'm not sure about theatre styles, although Bunraku is looking like the most likely to be used, but the most difficult to pull off. However, I want to look into video game makers Capcom, SNK, and Sega. In my mind, these are the Japanese companies that most influence me. I want to look at video games like Final Fight, Samurai Showdown, and Street Fighter series. Briefly, I want to look at Final Fantasy, but only if my original story goes ahead. Also, I see that historically. I have to look into the feudal era of Japan.
So basically,
I hope this is a good enough start. From those paragraphs, you can already tell that this could be.
Who have similar issues.
It's too big, and I feel that's okay. I feel, looking back now, that was okay to do. That was okay to have this fucking huge triple-decker sandwich of ideas and try to squash it into a fucking waffle maker and make that some bitch cook and turn it into something edible. If you understand my terminologies, I think it was really great to have tried to do this. But ultimately, I feel particularly December, January, February, March, April. I had 5 months. I had 5 months to do this, and I still hadn't. I think at that time I hadn't even found a cast. I think this is like even before I started writing a script. But basically what I had was the bare backbones of an idea. It just so happened that the idea was a little muffled.
So yeah, no. In terms of your anxiety,
it was a little muffled, but
do you ever feel?
I think at a period.
Has an effect on your
work,
either positive or negative?
A plan. Looking at the blueprint of scenes.
Not so much in a positive way, I don't think.
I think there's certain parts where I even go into Greek chorus and Jacobean, and I think that was more of a wink and a nudge towards Akira Sakura's one of his favourite Western directors was John Ford, and I can't remember what it was, but I think either one or the other made a piece, and I think it was 12 Cowboys or something. This is me trying to remember from back in the days. And it was a piece that was loosely based on the Shakespeare play, and I can't remember which one it was. Either it was fucking King Lear, the Scottish play, A lot of people are similar.
or Hamlet. But it was one of those, and I think there's parts of the text that wink and nudge towards that. But the problem with that is that I remember researching
a lot of people that kind of
John Ford and
we're talking about the
Sakura's
and stuff. It's just
Sakura.
I don't know what it is, but as
and just
British, we're so
getting more and more
for help, asking for assistance.
Head exploded in terms of
survive and to thrive on.
just thinking about the Jacobean bit, and I think the opening scene that I wrote is very Jacob. No, actually, sorry. No, the first scene that we see is very Jacobean based. But the problem is that I feel that as a director then is that all of that shit kind of went out the window, and it kind of developed into all these different styles and pieces that I was trying to do. I want to quickly say that there's a prologue and then a scene one, and that actually is in Tethered, and that actually is a setup that's very Japanese cinema based, and there's also video game references as well. At the time, I kind of thought it was kind of clever, but it was kind of like
that's a thing as me being Aspie as well
more Schadenfreude,
and having the depression.
Funny. Hopefully, when all of this is done, you guys will see the video, and you guys will see what I'm talking about.
But I actually had
there's a lot of fucked up things that happen in the piece. Some of them kind of wink towards Greek theatre, in-your-face theatre, but I felt that
I kind of ruined the evening for
the language used in the text isn't as
I just felt like shit.
I'm on about the dialogue between the characters. It wasn't as grossed out
something like that is going to happen,
as in your face theatre. So you can't really can make
customer who just wants to.
You can compare the two for sure, but it's not the same. I feel that the piece that I worked on and actually produced is certainly more Japanese and Greek theatre based. But then you could argue that in your face theatre is this is kind of like a cousin to Greek theatre. Or am I confusing myself because I'm Aspie? Fuck knows. But guys, I think I'm gonna leave it as this. Leave it as it was. As I said in Fox Spots, I wanted to do podcast episodes where it was like half an hour I talk about wrestling, half an hour I talk about something else, and half an hour I talk about something else.
Voice in your head,
so let's see where it goes. I'm going to call this episode to a close. Remember to follow me on Facebook. Sorry, on Twitter. The Foxwot What? TheFoxWOTWOT. And also, if you are able to, follow the hashtag 5 years hungry. That's 5 years hungry. I'll be trying to find the cast. I'll be trying to find the production teams. Also, I'll be putting up parts of the research that I was talking about in this episode. And I'd love to hear you love to hear your thoughts and comments on that. Also, if you are a performing artist who's graduating this year, I really hope that this is beneficial to you as well. I feel that there's too much emphasis on making everything perfect, executing everything correctly, whereas, oh god, yeah, I fucking paid for the fuck ups that I did in terms of the execution, and
trying to articulate the work that I did, but my fuck-ups made me appreciate the work that I did then and look forward to the work that I will be creating in the future. And I feel that that's all you can do is hope it improves in the future, and always be working and trying to find ways to create better. I mean, there's no point of just sitting on your ass and just wishing for tomorrow when today is here. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking shit. I'm going to jump on Twitter now and use the hashtag ImpactUK because it's Sunday, and as I said on Foxbots, I'd love to see you in the conversation. So yeah, cheers for listening. In fact, I've